I've made my position known in terms of wanting Ethan to get better. And I've said it so many times that at this point, it literally is just repeating the same thing that I've said over and over again. I don't think he will ever view it charitably. In spite of all the things that Ethan has done, I still want him to get better. I still want him to take some time off, really reconsider what he's done this entire time. I mean, yeah, he made a 3-hour doc about you specifically. So yeah, you'll always be a villain to him. I know. And someone might look at that and go, oh, you just want him to get better because you want him to stop talking about you. And it's like, yeah, there's a level of self-interest there for sure. Ethan trying to tarnish my name, Ethan trying to come after me has demonstrably not worked. He's not the first person that has decided I have a political disagreement with this person and I'm going to do everything in my power to make my audience hate him. This is my entire career. I'm a leftist online. I'm live 8 to 10 hours every day. Of course, I open myself up to attacks just on that alone. It's not new. Ethan will not be the last person that comes after me and kind of loses their mind in the process. I wish him well. I don't think that all of this stuff that he's engaged in is good for his mental health. It feels like it's so bad, it's visibly deteriorating him. So that's the reason why I didn't repeat exactly what I've said a million times over, because I don't think that he would look at that and reflect on it. I think it would have an unproductive effect. Eventually, this is going to turn into him just rehashing it over and over again and finding new things to yell about until it's just like an audience of 10 people. It's not going to change the truth, and it's certainly not going to change people's perceptions of you. So in this process, all you do is basically hurt yourself, hoping that one day magically people will actually recognize where you're coming from, change their entire worldview, and decide, no, you were right all along, actually, Ethan. We were wrong. Like, all Jews are Zionists, actually. And therefore, criticizing Zionism is criticizing Judaism. Like, you're correct. Like, that's not going to happen, especially not when Israel has refused to stop. Over the course of the year, where Ethan was like saying a bunch of really insane things that people understandably clocked as being pro-Israel or in defense of Israel, they would bring that stuff over here to me. And I was like, there's a genocide going on. I don't care about what Ethan Klein has to say. Ethan Klein is not your enemy. Literally, for me to redirect the attention over to what I wanted to talk about, which was what Israel was doing to Palestinians on the ground. And he so selfishly and so cynically clipped all of those parts and showed it to his audience as me simply going, oh, I can't do this. There's a genocide going on. Oh, I can't do that. There's a genocide going on. As though it's like just a talking point. Did Ethan watch this? Did he actually end up watching this video? He's 10 minutes in, 2 hours in. Jesus Christ. He's watching it piece by piece, literally pausing more than you ever have. Ethan Klein's extended crash out in the aftermath of the context puke that didn't unfold in the ways that he had envisioned because he's so goddamn narcissistic has already caused him to collapse in and of itself. The arguments were so silly that it basically operated as a filter. For people who are completely oblivious to the reality, they looked at that and they went, oh, this is a scary guy, isn't he? And over the course of many, many years of millions and millions of YouTube clicks, in the exact same way that Ethan Klein had made the context puke, people have made up their minds. Either they have this opinion over me, and one day they will accidentally arrive at the context on their own and realize that they've been duped, or they will carry on that resentment permanently, and there's not much I can do about it. But in the process, if you noticed, this community kept growing. I kept collaborating. I kept working with other people. I kept doing what I always do. I kept fundraising. I kept going to protests, rallies. Perhaps I know what I'm doing. Perhaps if I were to go down at that very moment, go down this rabbit hole of doing back and forth clips out of context over and over and over again, maybe I'd be at a very different place. I guess we'll never know. But I'm very happy with the place that I'm at in the aftermath of the context puke. And the reality of the matter is, Ethan does enough on his own due to his lack of curiosity, due to his inability to comprehend how other people think. He already consistently will farm an audience that is looking for outrage, especially against like common enemies, you know what I mean? While also simultaneously, he will keep eroding what made him who he was. He keeps losing what made him Ethan Klein, okay? What made him a lovable character. Let him fall on his own sword if he chooses to do so. I don't know how I've been able to maintain a normal outlook in spite of being a very online individual. I think it quite literally is because I am surrounded by loved ones. I'm surrounded by my family. I'm surrounded by friends. And I go outside quite regularly and I talk to normies quite regularly. And I think that plays a big role in keeping me grounded. It's a good lesson for all of you. I think having a job you feel secure in is also relatively also a part. You don't cave to cynical behavior. You extend knowledge and a second chance, which is all that's needed to help start that healing process. Yes. In any case, the one thing that I believe iDubbbz did here is that stuff like this gives people the permission structure to also say their piece. Throughout his career, Ethan Klein has wronged a lot of people, and it's such a broad range of characters that he has done this to that you have billionaire Zionists like Ryan Kavanaugh who are in his crosshairs while simultaneously the damn near entirety of the pro-Palestinian content creator orbit online. It's a very broad spectrum of people who get the same level of carelessness and sometimes negligence and oftentimes smears and brigading. And I think that ultimately, like when someone like iDubbbz comes out and says something about it, other people go, oh, well, I didn't know what was going on, and now I'm more aware of it. Why are you fighting someone who just doesn't want war and people to die? What an incredibly charitable interpretation. Do you think Ethan thinks that way of me? Because that's what I want. I want an end to the genocide. I want an end to the apartheid. This was our major disagreement. Ethan quite literally said, if the walls come down, the Palestinians are going to rape and pillage and kill all Jews in Israel. I don't think that that is the case. This disagreement grew into a massively consequential crash out where Ethan Klein has called me every name over the course of the past year. My anger and resentment towards Ethan, in spite of my wishes for him to get better, revolve around wanting him to stop doing Hasbara, wanting him to stop defending Israel. Okay. Yeah, he was just joking when he said war criminal Yoav Golan is just a good guy.